Hey, YouTubers, Tazman here, bringing you another episode of Tazman's AI Dungeon. And so I got some, I usually forget comments, so I'm gonna jump into them right away. I did get a couple comments. Technically, one of them actually was about the last episode or from the last episode, but there was another one that actually I think I would like to just bring to light. Um, so I got a comment. It was on episode 18 from Peter Jones 3757, and I do appreciate the comment. But they mention at I guess minute 30:20, so 30 minutes in 20 seconds, I'm assuming. Uh they wrote, why you losing cards and memories? Because you're on the rubbish free tier with 2,000 tokens when you could be on the mythic tier like me and have 32,000 tokens. Uh and a context with 400 memories and using the best Harbinger AI model uh or dynamic large LM LMO for stories, characters, dialogues. It's too painful to watch you using the poor man's tier. Sorry, but it's true. Tutorial is good, however. Just do it on a better tier. And to this I replied, because my goal, obviously, I don't have the highest tier. I actually have the second highest tier. I'm legendary on my other account, where I do all my experimentation and playing with it myself. Um, but this is my reply to it. I said, thank you for your comment. I do have the paid tier that I use personally. However, the design of the tutorial series is how to use the AI dungeon for everybody and how you can make do with the free tier if that's your only option. The series is not designed to be just. Oh man, I love it when I reread things and find out where I messed up. It's supposed to say just for those, but it says just those that have subscription. Another goal is to try and teach people to optimize their scenarios so that they will run well on any tier level. And this is true. This is actually my biggest goal is, you know, to show you guys on the free tier, yes, you can enjoy it. Obviously, if you're paying for a tier, you're definitely get more. You're gonna see better stuff. And then there was one other comment that was actually, like I said, from episode 18 comment. Then I actually did get one for this last episode. So by a Vic 2.0 says, has anyone found the magic words to put in AI instructions, author's notes, or wherever to keep the darn AI from speaking on behalf of the player yet? Lol. And I did reply to this one as well, saying I haven't, although sometimes I like it to speak for me, as I'm not always sure how I might want to respond to a conversation. Plus, um, dang it, there's another one. I did is instead of if. Plus, or it instead of if. Plus, if it is what it should say. Uh, or no, if it says something I really don't want, I go and edit the response. However, if I do find the right wording, I'll be sure to put it in a video. So someone did reply, lib.1324 says try, and then they put in quotes the little dash for the, it's like a bullet item space. And it says don't write dialogue for, and then you simply put the character's name or something like that. It looks simple and elegant, but it works. Though not always. But with the AI, uh, but with it, the AI is less likely to write dialogue for the player. Also, as I've noted, the AI tends to write dialogue for the player at the very beginning of the walkthrough. That is, if you regenerate or manually rework the AI's response at the very beginning, removing the player's phrases, the AI is less likely to insert them. And I've noticed that too, where if, for example, the AI, some scenarios, and this is some things that I actually want to bring up in this episode, is, for example, um, they might have in the plot essentials, and they're referring to you as the player in first person. I'm really bad with all those persons. They're saying, you know, you, George, and it says blah, blah, blah. And then it just says, he is this, he is that, he is this, he is that. And the AI seems to forget that that is the you. And so then all of a sudden I start noticing in the context that's being returned, it starts having no protagonist anymore. So it will start using I, and sometimes it will even forget who the protagonist is. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about one thing that we were doing in one of our previous ones. I wanted to address that a little more. And then I also wanted to show you some progress that I've done on my idea for story cards that don't have to load all the story cards or load so much, and some of the things I found out about that. So I can get rid of this one. I did comment and referred to, I think, what is it? Something Angel Mate. I can't remember the actual name. I did reply to them and point them to my video saying, hey, here's some suggestions. And they said they look at it. So at least they didn't take it like as I'm saying they suck or anything like that. So what did I want to do right now? I'm trying to remember. Uh, well, let's jump into the story card things that I was thinking of, and I'm sure it will come to me because I've been experiencing. Oh, actually, I do remember one thing. We can go into here real quick, and this is where our story card is anyway. So one thing I've noticed, there's actually been 2 new engines, which I needed to be outside of this to do that. So if you look here for the premium tier, for the premium tiers, there's actually a couple extra engines, but for the default tier, there's this new Wayfarer Small. So I mean, once again, even as a free account, you're actually they're still showing you guys some love. Um, and then of course between the legendary here and the epic or mythic or whatever, it's the same amount of story generators, image generators same, this is same, this is doubled. Basically the price is doubled. Not quite. But then this isn't doubled. So there's actually new engines that have been added. The big one for the free one is that, actually I think there's a better place I could show this. If we go here to, I think this one, the Rising Nova. So here you can see that there's a Nova one, which this is not a free tier. There's the Wayfarer Small. This one's not free. No, this is Adventure or more. So as you can see, Adventure and higher. So this is the Wayfarer Small that they've given to the free people. There's Deep Seek 3.1 that has also been added, and I think that's it. They've also, this is kind of cool, also for the free tier people, so you can actually experience what the more advanced tiers do. They're enabling this premium experience where you get X amount of coins or balls, soccer balls, whatever they are, engine points, I don't know what they're called, that will actually allow you to spend them on using a different tier, like a different thing. So I don't know if that's actually enabled. Let's go check, where did my story go? Yeah, I don't see it here yet. Look, we're already, uh-oh. Report an issue. Oh, I can't do it yet. I'm gonna hit continue. I don't remember if we tried breaking this or not, but let's hit return so we can actually go check out the contexts and see what, actually it's not being lost here. It was just there. So here's some things I've actually found that are actually kind of interesting, to tell you the truth. So I pointed out that I have this nice little thing right here, that this is actually working really well, especially in the new um, the new models and stuff, I think. So I've actually been playing some stories where all of a sudden the one of the NPCs is thinking something, and it actually encapsulates it. Sometimes it's just the little tilde, sometimes it's the tilde and this, sometimes it's actually the whole thing where it starts with that and then it ends with this one. Um, but it's actually really interesting because it's saying, hey, this is what the NPC's thinking, but you don't necessarily know it. So I thought that was really cool. Um, it does also seem to sometimes do this. Oh, I'm missing a quote there. Properly as well. But one thing I've noticed that's really strange is, and I'm trying to get the right verbiage so it doesn't happen quite as frequently, but with the new engines or something like that, or at least since the upgrade, I've noticed that every now and then the AI will actually pretend or even sometimes type out /DESC and throw out a description of a character. Now, that can get a little annoying, and what you can do is just simply delete it. One thing you can also do is, just put this in when you actually want to get information. Like you're doing your story, you're introduced to a new person, you're like, hey, I want a card for that person. Throw this in there, uh, have it generate a card for that person, or the information for that person, create the card, and then simply just go remove it. I just hit erase and then hit continue, and usually it does just fine. But I thought it was interesting that every now and then the AI will actually just throw that out there and say, hey, by the way, just in case you're wondering, this is the description of this person. So there's that. All right, so the other thing I want to talk about, and I've been thinking a lot about this, is we were talking about how we can have, say a giant mansion, but instead of having just a boatload of information for said mansion or penthouse suite, we only evoke a base. We were talking about in programming how you have a child and parent object, in object-oriented programming, and the relationship between them. And since then, I've come up with some different ideas, because in here we were saying, okay, so we have this saying your penthouse suite is located. And the thing that was triggering this from our other stuff was this keyword residence. Um, and I got thinking about that. Let's say I actually have a mansion, a penthouse, and a yacht, right? So all three of these things, and they're all triggered with residence. So if I say, oh, I'm heading to my residence, or if I'm saying I go into my guest bedroom, and that triggers residence, it's actually going to trigger all three of those things. So I thought we actually had a example of a thing here, but I'm going to show you. This is what I've been playing with here. So in here, as you can see, this is, for example, we have a mansion, we have a penthouse, we have a yacht. I haven't done the yacht quite yet. We're going to kind of do that a little bit together. And you'll see with the mansion, it's very mansion specific stuff that we have in our thing. And you'll see that it says you own a mega mansion that has the following features. So I got rid of the idea of having the residence as something. So if we go here, say for example, to the guest bedroom, instead I just have guest room, guest cabin, because if I'm in a penthouse, it would be guest room, guest, or the penthouse or a mansion to be guest room. If it's a yacht, it would be guest cabin. Um, and then in here, also in the description, it says in your mansion, penthouse, yacht. This way you can actually, as the player, you want to tweak it and design it to be more for you. Then when you paste it in your story card, you simply get rid of the ones you don't want. If you don't want it to ever be guest cabin, you don't have a yacht, then you simply get rid of that. I tried to keep it so the majority of the information that you would change would be in this little top part right here and down here, and not so much inside here. So as you can see here with our guest bedroom, these are ginormous because it's a mega mansion after all. Uh, But as you can see, like 400 square feet of elegantly appointed space. So that could be on a boat, that could be on in a penthouse or a mansion itself. King size bed, plush memory. So just the stuff about that room. We already know that our mansion will actually be triggered if it's the mansion by that guy right there. So what this would do is if I say I show them the guest bedroom, right? Or the guest room. Actually, I should probably put guest bedroom in there as well. So I show them the guest room. Then what it would do was grab this information right here. And then if it's the mansion, for example, it would also grab this information right here saying this is the stats of your mansion, this is the size. So if any of that information needed to come up, we would actually be able to have that as well. So we're kind of limiting how much stuff. So what I've been doing, if you look under, for example, this guest bedroom, what I did, for those of you that don't know, is I actually created a scenario saying you just won a bajillion, quadrillion, I don't know. You basically won unlimited amount of money. You are being shown by an AI, or I think I had it as an AI named Adia or I don't remember. But anyway, you're being shown by an AI robot around the house. And so I was saying, okay, let's go to the guest room and then have it show me all the features. So if we go down here, it's Ada, ADA. You'll see these are all the different things that, you know, when I was looking at a guest room, these were the things that it was saying, oh, this is the creme de la creme kind of thing. And then I just kind of grabbed various things that seemed to really make it stand out as a guest room and put it up here. Now, there is something I was thinking about is obviously you can see here that it says you have an ensuite luxury bathroom, which will actually be able to trigger the bathroom as well, the luxury bathroom right here, which I don't actually have any info for yet. But then I also was like, well, there's also going to be a wardrobe in there, and you can see here that we have a spacious wardrobe. And I just decided to actually take the wardrobe and put it in here as is. Now, once again, the idea behind this is kind of a boilerplate of the Macs. You know, if you want to download the JSON file of all these different things, which I haven't got yet, but I want to make that available so you can download and get your own story cards. I want you to then go, you know what? I really don't care about all this extra information about how many thread count. I don't care about that. Um, and I don't care that it's got a down comforter that feels like a cloud or something. So you can actually just go delete bullet points, change sizes and all that stuff. I just kind of want to give a nice boilerplate for you to say, okay, this is like creme de la creme. If I want to make it into something much smaller, I can do that. And kind of I did that. You know, I took my mansion, I copied it and put it up here as a large home, right? So this is nowhere near a mansion. But as you can see now, I took those same things that are in here and kept the ones that seemed like they were important and got rid of the ones that weren't. So now instead of having a mansion that is 4,500 square feet of livable space, which is insane, now I have a large house that has, you know, 2,500 square feet of livable space and sits on 2 acres of private land, which didn't seem over the top. I mean, that did seem like that could be a pretty decent sized yard. And part of that is because it does have a swimming pool and a hot tub that seats 7 people. The house is 3 floors, 2 above ground, 1 below, has an attached 2.5 car garage. And it has 10-foot walls and large windows. So something really simple there. You can see what's triggering it is your home, your house. Excuse me. So what I wanted to show you really quick is kind of what I would do to actually generate that. So these are the items of a story card that you'd want. I'm going to go ahead and launch out my story card template. So obviously the name of it's going to be my yacht in this case. This is our description. This is going to be our triggers, and then we have this. So then I can simply take this chunk right here, throw it up underneath entry, And oops, I didn't grab the whole thing. Grab this whole thing right here, throw it, the whole thing up under entry, and then just get rid of whatever I want. Like, for example, the underwater observation master bedroom, that might actually be part of the master bedroom if I want to. So probably not that. Length of the boat, that's definitely something. How many cabins, that's definitely something. How many guest rooms, I would almost, and like I said, once again, I kind of just came down and I've deleted a lot of it, but there was a whole ton of information in here that had all kinds of information about stats of various things. So, 20 guest rooms, sure, why not? Um, 15 cabins, that seems kind of redundant. A cabin, I would think almost is a guest room, so I'm going to get rid of that. So it has a helicopter pad, sure, the helo pad, whatever. Three-car garage. Um, I did look, and there actually are, where the side of the boat actually opens up, and there can be a ramp that goes up, so you could put a car in there. Thought, yeah, that might be kind of cool. It has 2 large swimming pools and 3 large hot tubs. Uh, I was actually kind of surprised that some of these mega yachts actually have multiple pools and stuff like that. A large solar array, that one I kind of just made up saying, hey, you're out at sea. Maybe you want power. Maybe have a large solar array at the very top. Luxurious interior outfitted with premium amenities. Once again, that's something you can have, you don't need. Many spacious decks for entertainment and relaxation. Didn't I have how many decks it had? Actually, I should probably list how many decks there are. Advanced high-tech entertainment system featuring, so this could be more in like a movie theater. Like if we have a home theater thing, maybe take that one out. Gourmet kitchen, probably take that one out and actually have it more specific stuff. Home gym, those could probably be taken out. Uh, all windows have privacy modes and stuff like that. So that definitely could be in there, I guess. So now you kind of see that we have our base yacht, which is, if I'm just saying, oh yeah, let's go get on my yacht, it has this base information about the very basics of the thing. You technically could even get rid of the cabins. Maybe if you actually wanted to have an actual garage. I think I actually have a garage in. No, I don't actually. You can do that. So anyway, these are some ideas that might make it so that you can actually have very descriptive. Some of these other things I think I actually added more. Definitely not that one, but as you can see, I have lots under luxury bathroom. This, I think, bedroom, the guest bedroom was the one I actually was working on. And then I have all this other information. Master bedroom. This one I also worked on where it's talking now, it's basically a copy of the guest bedroom, but everything's been supersized, everything's a lot bigger. I think I might have to change. Let's add that real quick so I don't forget it. I'm going to also say GU guest bedroom, because I might actually say that sometimes in the story and I would want it to invoke this. Home theater, I didn't have anything. I mean, kind of have it a little bit. Kitchen, no. Living room, I thought I had another one. Spa, terrace. Yeah, terrace has got a huge amount of stuff too. So anyway, hopefully you kind of like that idea. Hopefully that gives you ideas on how to do it. One other thing I would like to point out here, I have this thing that I created in one of my scenarios. I was a programmer and I created an AI system that was based off of the smart home, and I advanced it. And so I kind of came up with this idea of saying, okay, so there's the Nexus core in this sense, that actually she calls herself Nexi. So as you can see here, this is the main AI itself, right? So this is, as you can see, the actual AI itself. I haven't put it in my new format, which I probably should, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to do this and add in my template. So as you can see here, I have the Nexus is an advanced AI system that you have developed. Because Nexus chose a female voice, you refer to her with female pronouns, she and her. and call her Nexie. Now, in the scenario I was actually doing, this actually happened where I actually was calling it just Nexus, and the AI uh, said that it chimed in a female voice, and eventually it ended up saying that it wanted to be called Nexie. I said, do you want to be called Nexus Core? It says, I prefer this. So anyway, it was interesting that the AI kind of developed it that way. But so you can see that Nexie can control devices in my home, other devices such as watches, phones, computer, laptops, vehicles, and such. Right. So anyway, we have this. So then I needed a Nexus core. So I went an over the top core here. I actually did quick research and found, that there are, PowerEdge servers. These are actual things. But then I really boosted up how many terabytes of storage are on each and all that stuff, just to kind of make it a little more real for myself. So now this is basically the brain of Nexus. But if you want to just say that you are a programmer and you have a laptop at home, you're not super rich, you can actually just take this Nexus one and throw it in a card. And now anytime you actually, if I come down here, you look at my author notes, you'll actually see I even created one here that says if I use the @ symbol and the quote and another quote and an @ symbol to close it, this is communicating directly with the AI system via the phone, tablet, console, computer, or earbud, right? So we're talking to the AI system when we use that. Other words, if like we're in the house and we're just talking, then I just usually use that. But it actually does a really good job of knowing that anytime that's there, I'm talking to the AI system. So I don't have to always, it doesn't have to be like Alexa or Google or, Bixby or whoever else. You don't have to constantly say that. You just throw it in this and now it knows that the AI system is doing that. So just with this, it actually works really well that you actually have a very advanced AI system that maybe is running off your laptop at home and connected to the internet so you can actually get it on your phone. Now, if you're super rich, then you can also have the AI core. And you'll notice that this is technically invoked only by Nexus Core, but so if I'm saying the Nexus core, then it will do that. You'll also notice in here, I believe that I call it Nexus right here, which will invoke this to tell it that it is the AI. And then if I have butlers or whatever called Nextbots is what I called them, you can see that these are invoked by saying Nextbot, and these will also invoke the Nexie AI saying, okay, you own 6 Nextbots. The Nexie is the one that controls them. So now it kind of flows. So this has actually worked really well where, I've created this little AI home system that's way advanced AI, I guess. So anyway, I think that is going to do, we're at 30 minutes. Sorry for the long video, but I had a lot I wanted to get out to you guys. If you guys are interested in, as I get these things completed and you actually would like the XML, I can create a scenario and then export it, then, or not XML, JSON. Then you can just import those into a story that you're doing and they'll be available. You can obviously come in and change the names so that they're more yours. But I'm more than happy to do that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. That sounds weird. And subscribe. All right. Click that little notification bell. Join my Discord channel. Tell other people about my YouTube channel. Check it out if they like what they see. They can sub. We all win in that case. And that is it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.